This hour of Ben and Woods on a Wednesday brought to you by Spectrum Business. Now more than ever, small businesses need the best internet and phone solutions at the best value, and Spectrum Business is proud to help, offering new customers 1 month of internet, voice, and TV service for free. Visit business.spectrum.com today to learn more. About to chat with the head coach of the San Diego State Aztecs, Brady Hoke. First, though, let's check traffic on 97.3 The Fan. Here's Kelly Danick. Well, Woods, we go out to our Sdsu fan hotline, speak to a gentleman whose Saturdays have just opened up a little bit this fall unexpectedly.
Oh, man.
And unfortunately, sorry about that, but Sdsu coach Brady Hoke is with us here on Ben and Woods. Coach Hoke, it is good to talk to you this morning. How are you?
We're doing fine. You know, we got punched in the gut a little bit, and, but we're rebounding. Our players, Ben, have had a tremendous attitude and really encouraged by how they've handled everything. We feel terrible for them and terrible for the Aztec Nation, but, we'll figure it out, and we'll see what the winter's going to look like and fall's going to look like, and then move forward.
Well, Coach, I know you guys were really looking forward to getting the season underway. Defense, your specialty, was looking good. You guys had a good recruiting class. What was it like having to tell the players that, hey, guys, we're gonna have to put this thing on hold for a while?
It was difficult. Obviously, we've got a bunch of guys here within the program who love to play, love to compete, and so it was one of those meetings that we tried to get to them before the Twitter war and all those other things happened, and so they could hear it from us first. But we have a plan, and we will keep developing a plan as we move forward. We'll get some guidance during this whole process. President Della Torre and J.D. Wicker have done an outstanding job fighting for what our needs are and what our student-athletes' needs are, and can't be more proud of how they've handled the situation and their leadership and their guidance. And now as coaches, we'll feed off of that, and we'll hopefully be able to put this thing back together and have college football.
I know J.D. Wicker said yesterday, that extremely proud of everything that you guys have already done, the precautions you've taken to try to get the kids back safely and try to get practice underway. And he said, I think if we had to, we could have pulled off a football season, but there's just so many unknowns. Coach, is that kind of how you view it as well? It's not necessarily that you're worried about the kids playing football. It's just that we just don't know quite enough yet to take that risk at this moment.
Well, Ben, that's the number one thing, is the health and safety of the players, and that will never change. And, this thing, the goalpost moves every day, it seems like, and there's a lot of differing opinions out there from the different leagues. There's some opinions that are the same, but, we want to be safe. We want the CDC guidance and, the county guidance. We want our guys to be able to play the game like they have and go out there and feel good about what's going on as far as the game and the health and safety.
I know it's still hypothetical at the moment, but the idea is if things look a little bit better, that you might be able to reschedule the season for the spring. As a coach, have those wheels already started turning about how you might be able to get a team ready for an 8 or a 10 game schedule in March and April next year?
Well, there's no doubt. I mean, I can't tell you how many different calendars that during the last 4 months that we've put together as a staff, I've put together, and we'll do the same thing. Do you have your spring ball in November? Do you get your 15 days? I mean, there's a lot of questions that we got to get some answers from the NCAA and how recruiting, the dead periods, everything that goes along with it. There's a lot of questions out there, and I'm sure, we'll get some answers to how the calendar's going to look here in the near future.
We are talking to Aztecs head football coach Brady Hoke here on Ben and Woods this morning. And, Coach, I've always kind of made the not really a joke, but the observation that being a head football coach in college, you probably just get scared every time your phone buzzes. You know, you're dealing with kids, and these kids have come from far away, and they are in beautiful, magical San Diego, Coach. And you're like, every time the phone buzzes, you're like, oh, God, what is it now? Well, now you don't have the watchful eye on them. Now they are a little bit left to their own devices. How do you keep all of those players dialed in, focused, ready, active, doing what they're supposed to do to get ready for when football does come back? It's got to be an even tougher layer for you.
Well, Steve, the one thing I can tell you is our senior group has really, from day one, we have a lot of communication. They've done a really good job. We're taking our third test this week. In fact, everybody will have had a third test as of today. And so, but, we've talked about the accountability to each other and how in the game of football, we've got to make sure that we're doing the right things so that the other guys on this football team and those guys who are driven, they do the right things. And it really has been really exciting and encouraging to us as a staff how our guys have, they're 18 to 22. I would like to follow Ben Higgins around when he was 18 to 22 and, see what he's gotten into. But
literally
really
nothing, Coach. Coach.
Okay.
I'm the most boring human being alive, Coach.
Literally nothing. Nothing.
Yeah, well, then that's a good example. But, the guys have done a good job, and I'm happy. The leadership has been outstanding by our seniors and the influence and the examples that they're making. And so I'm kind of excited to see how we came out with this last test. So, we've been pretty good as a program, pretty good as an athletic department. We just got to keep, for the safety of everyone involved. And I think that's what the guys have started to understand maybe a little more. It's just not them. It's the other people that they would come in contact with. So the message is always there, wash your hands, have your mask on. Right now I'm probably one of the greatest mask coaches in the NCAA because what I do during these workouts is say, put your mask up and socially distance. Make sure that we're doing everything that we can do so our guys can get back to playing the game they love.
Mask on. I love to hear it from Brady Hoke. Now, Coach, you mentioned the senior leadership that you have on that team. That's good to hear because before you arrived the first time, San Diego State football wasn't in a good place. And then you were here for a couple of years. You handed the reins over to Rocky when you left, and he carried that on and really built something nice. Now, you came back last year. How hard is it going to be to keep culture going? Once you get that momentum going, you don't want to lose it. If there are no games this year, if they can't get playing next spring, how do you keep that culture going when, you might have seniors who leave and then, you got freshmen who didn't even get to play at all this season? How difficult is that going to be?
Well, I think that's a great point. And I think the one thing that we believe in is we're consistent. Everything that we do, how we approach every practice, every meeting, and the communication. These guys have been through more than any other group, obviously, the pandemic, the social injustice, all those things. And I think the one thing that the staff has done is we stay in contact and we communicate. We have a meeting with all the parents tonight that, trying to give them a way of how we're going to dial in and how we're going to get through the next couple months and what we're looking at trying to get done.
Well, Coach, appreciate you spending a few minutes with us. Good luck over these next few months, and I do hope we get to see some San Diego State football in the spring. That would be different. It would be unique and worth watching. So, Coach, appreciate your time.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Have a great day.
Thanks, Coach.
Coach Brady Hoke on our SDCCU fan hotline. San Diego County Credit Union has low mortgage loan rates, equal housing opportunity. For details, call 877-SDCCU-4U, or to apply online, visit sdccu.com. Yeah, I mean, it'd be strange. It'd be weird, football in the spring. I think some of the points that have been brought up are valid, especially in the Power 5 conferences. You'd probably have a lot of seniors especially opt out. What do you do about the draft? The draft is in April. That could be in the middle of a season next year.
I mean, look, if baseball can do it, then football can do it. The Padres had to go draft guys that missed out on their senior years of high school or whatever, and everything has changed. I mean, if you're going to evaluate, if a guy's played 3 years of college football and has to skip out on his senior year, and you're drafting, you still feel like you got enough. You got enough to know if he's going to be a good fit or not. It's just going to take a lot more work.
Would there be bowl games in May?
Right.
I mean, would they play the Holiday Bowl in May? Or is there just going to be no bowl games if there's no season?
What's the point of having the bowl game if you can't have fans? Yeah, I mean that's the big money generator. It's not the honor of being selected for the Alamo Bowl. It's, hey, we're going to make $100,000, $250,000 off this, or $1 million, whatever it may be.
But there are the TV contracts. It makes some money too, because there are a lot of those bowl games barely have any fans. But are them on because it's programming for ESPN? But
are the TV guys going to go? Yeah, well, let's buy up an assload of bowl games that won't have any fans in the stands. Maybe, because then the people are watching it on television. Who knows? I mean, really, it's all of this crap is up in the air.
I mean, think about this: we could be college football season could be running concurrently with spring training and the next NBA and NHL seasons, like the playoffs getting started as college football season's in full swing. Opening day in baseball could coincide with, a big conference matchup between USC and UCLA in football on the same weekend, next year. It is just so bizarre.
It is.
What we could be facing. And then if they play in the spring, does that impact next college football season? Can they play in May and then turn right around and get back to camp in August and get ready to go again and play, could be somewhere along the lines of 20 games in a calendar year from March through December, 20 football games. That's a lot of football for, 18, 19, 20-year-olds to be playing. So there's a domino effect of all of this, of how it's going to work. Very interesting, but we live in interesting times.
Yes, we do. Some may say uncertain times.
Uncertain is another way that you could put it, for sure.
Yeah, you could. I just did.
I just can't get over Brady Hoke using Ben Higgins at age 21 as an example of
all
being
the
concerned and
trouble
scared.
I got into.
Ben's like, I was at the driving range, and then I was doing my homework, and then I studied.
Made some creme brulee on Friday night.
I made creme brulee on a date, and then
went to bed early.
I did watch an episode of The Simpsons. And then I went to sleep.
Like if they shut it down at SDSU and they say, hey, everybody, you're on your own. We're going to reconvene here in a couple of months, hopefully, when it's safe. If they were all like Ben Higgins, no problem. No worries whatsoever for Brady Hoke.
Literally, if every college football player was like Ben Higgins, we would have a full slate of college football action. If we could clone you and put you there,
I'll take that as a compliment.
It is a compliment.
It is. Thank you.
You're going to follow the rules.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're also not going to put your partners at risk, all your teammates.
It's a good time for rule followers right now.
It is. It really is.
Now, I understand that we sometimes move forward by having some rebels out there.
Move California forward.
Change the perspective. Sometimes you have to question the status quo. I'm not a big status quo questioner. Look, is this the status quo? Sounds good to me.
You sheeple.
Woods is our resident status quo.
I am, but I'm also not. I'm also like, oh, that needs to be done. Okay, cool. I'll get it done. Oh, cool. This is best for my neighbors and my fellow San Diegans. Cool. I'll do that. So I am a bit of a jump in with the crowd guy. And especially if the crowd, like if the crowd's doing, I use my head. Is this going to hurt me, my family, or people that I care about? It is cool. I'm not going to do that. That's just me.
Speaking of football and wearing masks, we didn't get a chance to watch. Usually we're all over Hard Knocks, but we were watching the game last night, and hopefully we'll get to it. I did see the big news from the HBO season debut last night. Anthony Lynn announcing to his team, unbeknownst until yesterday, that he had COVID.
Yeah.
That he had COVID, had some symptoms, had the aches, got tested positive. A couple other coaches, let's see, Sean Payton had it. And then who was the other coach that got diagnosed not that long ago? I know, he's like the third NFL coach who had COVID. But, it's basically trying to tell the guys here, okay, take it seriously. I had it. You don't want to get it.
Yeah.
So we need to take these health and safety precautions seriously.
Are you guys still as fired up to watch it as you were?
I'm not this season. I mean, I don't know if it's because...
It's because of the Chargers.
It's
That's
partly
why.
because
That's
of the Chargers,
why.
but it's also, as I just saw some of the kind of behind-the-scenes clips. It's a video of a guy sitting in front of a computer screen talking to media on Zoom calls.
I'm over it,
Like,
right?
This is already my life.
This is our life.
I don't necessarily need more behind the scenes of what my life has already become. And just showing that football, like the rest of us, has turned into this sad social distancing, technology-driven, let's stay as far away from each other as possible, everyone else is doing.
My new bit is having an open mind about things instead of just arbitrarily hating everything. I'll try it today. I'm going to put it on, and if I get through it, I get through it. If it's interesting and captivates me, then I'll watch it. If it doesn't, I'm going to turn it off.
One thing I'm looking forward to, I guess they do show some of the players getting their COVID
Tested?
test. Yeah. They don't really like it. The
bet
swabs, the blood tests, tough guys are not happy about it. I haven't gotten one, so
I haven't either.
I've heard it's bad, though. All right, we got 1 hour to go. Everybody's favorite game. We need a contestant for Has Been Ever. 833-288-0973. It's Wednesday. That's coming up next on 97.3 The Fan.